So we are here for our Values Inspire to Become an Author program. And I want to again thank you all for being here. You are here for one of the following reasons, or maybe more than one of the following reasons, but I wanted to acknowledge that we're going to be here for probably less than an hour, but I wanted to give enough time that if there are questions or conversations that need to be had, that we can have those at the end of the session. So you're here for one of the following reasons, or maybe more than one of the following reasons. So maybe you want to become a published author. Maybe you want to become a published author again. I know that there's a few people who are already published authors, and you're looking for a new book program. You're looking for a new project to be a part of, and maybe there's something else that was interesting to you as it relates to this particular program. Maybe, and this is maybe one of those things, maybe you want to create a powerful lead magnet to attract people to your landing page or website. This is one of the most valuable parts of this program, in addition to becoming a published author and having that credential, is to have this resource, this asset that you get to walk away with and do whatever you want with forevermore. And many of my clients use this type of an asset to attract people to their websites or landing pages so that they can capture their name and email address, create conversations, and potentially work with them as coach and client, or for a speaking engagement, or for some other kind of arrangement like that. One of the other reasons might be to increase your credibility and authority in the space in which you are coaching or speaking. Maybe you're here just kicking tires because you're not sure if this program is for you and you wanted to see what's included. And maybe you're here because you thought this was a Knitting 101 workshop. And if that's the case, you're definitely not in the right place. But I know for a fact that seeing everybody that's here, that you are in the right place. So I believe that anybody can be an author. I believe you can do this. So here's my pinky promise to each of you, and that is that by the end of this session, you are going to be clear about what this program is all about, and you'll know if it is for you. And it probably is. If you got here one way or another, this program probably is for you. It probably has what you're looking for. And by the end of this, you'll know for sure. And if you don't, well, we can have a conversation about that as well. So let's talk about some facts about being an author. What will you get out of this? Now, for those of you that are already authors, maybe of a collaborative book or your own book, you know some or all of these things already. So being an author will definitely elevate your profile. We live in a society where when you have that book, whether it's an ebook or a physical book, and you can say that you're a published author, it automatically elevates your profile and people treat authors with more respect. It's alongside with public speaking, it's one of the two things that will definitely elevate your profile as a coach, as an influencer, as a thought leader. It will increase your credibility. Because being an author is not always that easy, anyone who has actually accomplished that will be seen as more credible, more knowledgeable, more authoritative as a result. And likewise, it will increase your authority. So in whatever aspect that you are doing this, coach, speaker, whatever the case may be, it will attract more prospects to you if you use it correctly. It's not a build it and they will come kind of a situation. Just because you're a published author doesn't mean that people will just, be knocking down your door. But it is something that you can use as a piece to create that path to help prospects find you and learn more about you, and help actually help them understand if you're the right kind of person they want to work with, whether they want to hire you as a speaker, they want to hire you as a coach, or work with you on some other project. It will create an asset that you can reuse forever. So the book and or chapter that you have as a result of this kind of a program will give you that opportunity that you can use it forevermore. This program is designed to give you maximum flexibility with what you create. It is designed to help you leverage it for your purposes. I'll say this a couple times, but you retain 100% ownership of your content Obviously, the book that is the collaborative piece is its own piece, but your content is your content. You don't lose ownership of it. You don't have restrictions on how you use your content because it is your content. This is coming from me as an author, and so I want to make sure that you have the most flexibility possible with this kind of a project. It will create a legacy for you because long after you're gone, and we don't need to talk too much about going away anywhere, but long after you're gone, having a published author credential, having something out there that lives beyond you is something that a lot of people find really heartening. They want to know that after they're gone, their kids, their family members, their community have something to remember them by. And so what you write is part of that legacy that you create. And unfortunately, being an author is usually much harder than it should be. There's a number of different reasons for that, but one of those reasons is because when you were growing up, probably in elementary school, more likely high school or college or university, you probably had some kind of a struggle at some point with some kind of writing, whether it was a project, an essay, a dissertation, a thesis or something like that. Something that you wrote gave you a really hard time. And if you broke through that hard time, then you realized how powerful that can be. But many people get stuck with those memories and they create beliefs that surround those memories around not being a good writer or not being effective enough, not having a strong enough voice, or whatever they were told by their teacher or other people around them. But it doesn't need to be that hard for you to be an author. So here's some of the reasons why people don't become authors, and the reality is that most don't. There's no support for them. In many cases, the old school method of becoming an author was very much you lock yourself away in a cabin or a room and you type away at a typewriter or a computer or whatever the case may be, and you don't come out until you've produced something. And technology has changed all of that. And not only the advent of computers and word processing programs and editing tools and things like that, but also the advent of artificial intelligence more recently has completely changed how people can become writers and what is their voice and how they can hone that and tune that to be reflective of who they are and even more importantly, who they want to become. For many people, it's too big of a goal. And one of the reasons why this project is so powerful is you don't have to write an entire book. You're just going to write a chapter of a book alongside the other authors. And so that takes this ginormous goal of writing 40, 50, 100,000 words and brings it down to something that's actually manageable, either in one weekend or a few weeks, or in some cases, a few months, depending on how much help and support that you need with it. But it is a much more manageable goal when it becomes a chapter. One of the really cool things about the chapter approach or the collaborative approach is that you not only work together with other authors, you not only get this ebook of your own, we're going to talk about that in a minute, that is made up of your own chapter, but you get to use this potentially as a seed for your own full book. So it can be a sneak peek or almost like a movie trailer, if you will, of what's going to be in that full book if you choose to go that route. Or it could be the seed for an educational course or program that you create to attract and serve more clients. It could become the complement to a speaking engagement that you offer. So if you offer a similar or same kind of speaking engagement to a lot of different organizations, then this could be a bonus. It could be an add-on. It could be a standalone sale at the back of the room. However you want to use it is up to you, but it becomes something that you're able to leverage in a number of different ways. So some other reasons why people don't become authors, it's fraught with rejection. And the reason for that is the old school model is we have to sell physical books. And so publishers didn't want to take on just anybody. They wanted to have some kind of almost a guarantee that the author and the work that they produce is going to sell physical books. The cost of producing a physical book, the cost of shipping books to bookstores, the cost of bookstores having all of that inventory on hand is enormously expensive. But the fact that we can create an ebook, an electronic book that doesn't take up shelf space, that doesn't require, expensive shipping to faraway lands, we can create a resource for the reader that is going to potentially give them the same, or in some cases, even better experience, because you can include links and other resources attached to the ebook. But you can also do it at a very, very, very low cost. So one of the other reasons why people don't become authors, there's no vision for what they want to write. Now, this is a bit of a tricky one because if you don't know what you want to write about, certainly it is difficult. But that's one of the reasons why this program is so powerful, because not only will you get my support in helping you decide what it is that you want to write, it is ultimately your choice. So I'm here as a support, not as a taskmaster, if you will, or the person telling you what to write. But you also get the support and encouragement and ideas of all of the other authors. So one of the important parts of this program is that you get to connect with and collaborate with, in some respect, the other authors in the program. In some cases, authors don't see a clear benefit. In some cases, authors spend thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to either find a publisher, to get published, to print books, and then they only sell a handful of books, and it never really has a clear benefit, a clear return on the investment. This program is designed to turn that on its head and make it a huge benefit to you so that you can leverage it in a number of different ways. For a lot of people, one of the reasons they don't become authors is because they don't have accountability. They don't have somebody there, or in this case, a group of people there to encourage them, to support them, to give them constructive criticism, to give them ideas, to praise them for the work that they're doing. And you'll see how we actually leverage that in this program. But the accountability is there. You get it from me, and you get it from your fellow authors. The other reason why a lot of people don't become authors is because they never get finished. They never finish the project. And a lot of people have a Word document or a Google Doc or a manuscript that's partly written. There's a framework or a table of contents, or there's a few pages written, but then you get stuck. And what was an initial passion gets drowned out by everyday life. So life catches up. You got to do something else. You got to do something that's going to pay the bills, and you put the writing aside. And then the wind is sucked out of the sails, and that project doesn't move ahead any further. It's like it's a sailboat that gets grounded on the rocks. It ain't going to move anywhere. So this project, the Values Inspired Become an Author program, is about reversing all of these things. Okay. So this is why this program is different and why you're going to succeed as an author. You will have support. As I said, you get support from me, you get support from your fellow authors. Your goal will be attainable because each chapter is between 500 to 2,000 words, and certainly we can talk about a different number if that's better for you. If you want to write 2,500 words or 3,000 words, we can talk about that. But your goal is attainable. It's really the length of an article or an essay, but it's going to be a chapter within a book. You'll be encouraged by a group of co-authors. You'll get clear about what you want to write, and you'll be able to use it right away. So when the project is done and your ebook is done, you'll be able to use it right away. You don't have to wait for it to be printed. You don't have to wait for it to be shipped. You'll be able to use it right away. And in fact, even before your ebook is finished, we can actually work at a pre-sale or pre-launch situation where you want to put it on your website to attract people, and it's going to be available a week later, a month later, a season later. You can do that as well. Again, so that you can attract people to get to know who you are, to give you their name and email address in return for the book that's going to be available at a later date. And finally, you'll have that accountability. You'll have that that person in myself and the people in the other authors who are going to keep you accountable. There will be opportunities for you to show up, for you to share what you've written, for you to share the struggles that you're having, if you're having any, and to get breakthroughs for all of those things. So for those of you that don't know who I am, I'll introduce for you who I am so you get to know me a little bit. So I am the founder of the International Academy of Values Inspired Coaching. I have over 30 years experience in personal and professional development as a speaker, coach, author, and leader. I've influenced hundreds of thousands of people to positively transform their lives, delivering my messages on stages at events in the United States, Australia, New Zealand, China, and all across Canada. I've helped numerous organizations be their best, both big and small, including not-for-profit national organizations and for-profit international companies. I've created, co-created, and renovated million-dollar educational programs, helping to certify tens of thousands of people in multiple education streams. I co-wrote the best-selling Foundations of Professional Personal Training, the Healthy Eating and Weight Loss Coach certification, and Adversity to Adaptability: Turn Life's Greatest Challenges into Your Greatest Opportunities, as well as other books. And I've contributed hundreds of articles to numerous magazines for over 20 years. In fact, that should be updated to over 30 years. I've been a four-time Ironman competitor, cross-Canada cyclist, competitive rower, 200-hour RYT yogi, and I'm a proud husband and father. You see my wife and my three kids at the bottom of the right-hand side of the screen there. So this is who I am, and part of the reason why I can help you. We're going to get into a little bit more of that on the next slide. So why me? You know, as they say, this is not my first rodeo. I have worked with not only my own clients, but also on other projects, my own projects, as well as the projects for other organizations to help people become published authors. As I mentioned, I've written or co-written multiple books and manuals. In fact, not everything is actually even on the screen here. I edited a trade magazine for 15 years with new authors in every single issue, with multiple issues per year. I think it was 10 to 12 issues per year we used to produce. So hundreds and hundreds of authors that I've worked with. I've helped clients write, design, and create their own books and ebooks. I have a background in design. This is something that I don't make a big deal of usually, but it is something that does come to bear on projects like this, that I do have a background in design. I love design. I love working with people to take their vision and make it a reality. And I'm passionate about helping you be successful. I love it when my clients win. And if you sign on to this program, you become a client of the program. You won't be a one-on-one client of mine. You won't be a group client of mine. Certainly, that's something that's an option for us to chat about at some later date. But you'll be part of and a participant in this values-inspired Become an Author program. And I'd love to help you be successful in what you're doing with it. So let's talk about what you're going to get on sort of a big bullet point perspective. And then I'm going to wrap it all up. I'll tell you, all the details of it. And then we're going to open it up for questions. So what do you get in the actual program? You get to collaborate with up to 14 other authors. You're not alone in this. If you've ever felt like you don't have enough of that sort of get up and go and that gumption to just kind of get it done, this is a great opportunity for you to get the support of all these other authors to get it done. There are educational sessions. There's about 10 to 12 educational sessions. They're optional. You don't have to attend them, but they'll be presented, and then you can either watch them as recordings if the timing isn't great. But this is going to help you with structure, voice, language, suggestions, and a whole bunch of other stuff. In fact, what I'll be teaching goes beyond just this project. It'll help you write maybe your next full book or your next article for a newspaper or a magazine or something like that. But I'll be talking about stuff that's relevant not only to this project, but is relevant to a lot of other things that you might do in the future. You'll get some one-on-one coaching. So if needed to break through a writer's block, I will schedule some time to work with you one-on-one. It's not a guarantee that you'll get this because not everybody will need it. If you don't need the one-on-one time, then we don't need to leverage that. But if you're really stuck with something that you're working on and it's not something that we can get through in one of our group sessions, then it will be something that I will give you that extra time to help you figure that out, to help you break through that block. There is an option for ghostwriting. So if any of you feel like, you're not a good enough writer, which I don't think is ever the case, if English isn't your first language, if there's some other reason, maybe it's just a time issue, there is an optional upgrade if it's desired. This is not included in the basic program, but if somebody says, hey, Rod, I just, can you write this for me? We'll have a chat about it, which we'll talk about what you want to do with it and what the outcome is designed to be. And if it's appropriate, then you can upgrade to get that done as well. It's going to be published on Amazon. So there will be an ebook and a print on demand option. So if somebody wants to purchase a physical book, they'll have the option to do it at a higher price, or the main project is to create this ebook that gives you the most versatility for you to leverage it however you want. And as a result, just to be really clear, you get the full collaborated book that you can leverage in whatever way that you want, plus you get your own ebook. So we're going to extract your chapter from the whole collaborated book, and we're going to turn it into your own ebook with just your name on it. That's going to have, a custom cover and the design for you for this to be your own ebook, your own, you can call it an ebook or e-booklet or report or whatever you want to call it. We can shape it in whatever way makes sense. Whether it's a one-page thing or a 10-page thing, there's a lot of different ways that we can create something that's going to be really powerful for you. And that's going to be part of this program as well. So again, a custom cover and layout. Your ebook will reflect you and your vision for what it is that you're writing. You'll get a 3D professional mock-up of your ebook that will reflect you and your vision. So for example, again, you saw this earlier, but here are a bunch of the examples of books that I've either written, co-written, helped clients create, and produce for them in this 3D mock-up vision. So you can not only have the electronic collaborative book, not only have your own electronic ebook of your own chapter extracted out, you'll also get this graphic that you'll be able to use that's super attractive that will help bring people to your site to give you their name and email address, whether it's a prospect of a speaking engagement or a potential client. You're going to get this to be able to use in whatever way you want. We're going to have at least one team writing session. Now, this is optional, but I'm going to encourage everybody to attend if at all possible. That this is going to be a time where we're going to carve out probably half a day, maybe a full day, depending on people's schedules. And we will come together, and basically you're dedicating that day to writing, and the Zoom will be open. I'll be here, and if there's questions, comments, thoughts, and then there will be a periodic time where people will actually come together and share what they've been writing. You can read part of what you've written. You can share a struggle that you're having about what you're writing. You can get ideas, support, and so on live in a Zoom to help you break through any writer's blocks that might come up. So the project that we are putting together will make a difference. I really believe that if we all put our heart and our soul into it, then it will have a gravitas, if you want to call it that. It will have a weight that will be able to make a difference in the world. So the working title is Find Your Value, a collection of ideas, tips, and strategies on finding your value through your values. But that's a working title. The final title depends on the author selected and the content that is planned for the actual book. This is a mock-up just to give you an idea of it. The cover image could change, the title could change, the layout, the font, everything could change, but your name will be on the cover. I know that one of the frustrating things for some authors who do other programs is that there's no credit for them on the book, and your name will be included on the cover of the book. There's a few different ways that we're going to do that. And In your chapter, you will be able to include your contact information, your website, email address, social media handles, whatever you want to include, so that people can get in touch with you if that's what you want. If you don't want people to get in touch with you, then you don't have to include that. There will also be a spot for you to have your own biography attached to your chapter so that people know a little bit more about you as an author. So as I have mentioned before, there's going to be up to 15 authors. I just got another confirmation right before we got online, so I had to update this to 7 spots are already taken. So that gives you an idea. There's 8 spots left, and I know there's a couple people here who are very likely to say yes to this. So up to 15 authors. If we get to 10 or 12 and it's time to hit the launch button for the process, then we will do so. But I don't want to work with really any more than 15 authors. If there was one more, if there was 16, I'd consider it. But it also has to do with the blend of authors and the content that they're writing and the process that we're going to go through. So each author will contribute a chapter of between 500 to 2,000 words. And again, if you want to write a little bit more, then we can talk about that. But 500 words is pretty minimum for us to be talking about. The end product will be published as an ebook on Amazon, as mentioned, with a print-on-demand option. You will retain full ownership of your content. You can do whatever you want with it after the fact because it's your content. You wrote it, it's your copyright, your content. As I mentioned as well, there is a ghostwriting option. So if you just want to get this credential, you can essentially pay for it. I don't want to make it sound like it cheapens anything, but the truth is that some authors really struggle with it. And so having a ghost writer to support you, it's not something that's going to be done completely without your involvement. It does require your involvement to understand what it is you want to accomplish and what your vision is, and to get the framework from you. But then the actual writing of the chapter can be done for you. That's an upgrade option. You'll be able to use the ebook PDF file as a giveaway or print and sell, and you'll be able to use your chapter as its own standalone ebook. You can use it as an ebook, an ebooklet, a giveaway, a bonus, whether it's a speaking engagement or a coaching program or a course that you're creating. Really, the flexibility is entirely up to you of how you're going to leverage this asset, because that's what it is. It's an asset for your business that will allow you to use it over time. And so that's all of the sort of features and benefits of what we're covering here this evening. And because I want to respect your time, all right, let's talk about the time frame for this project. So the goal is to have all the authors to be secured by March 1st, 2024, if not beforehand. The sooner we get the authors confirmed, the sooner we can get going with the project and get it out there, published and launched as quickly as possible. The authors that have already been selected can begin writing anytime, and they get support along the way, both individually and as a group. And the educational sessions that are planned, as I mentioned, there's 10 to 12 educational sessions that are planned to be delivered. They can be taken live online as a Zoom or watched afterwards as recordings. And they begin by March at the latest. And you'll receive your custom ebook after the launch of the full book has been completed. And that way there's no conflict in terms of the timing, in terms of the focus of promotion, and so on and so forth for that. So that's the rough time frame for it. It does depend a little bit on when the authors are all finally selected. The launch of the actual project is going to be determined based off of when we start and how long it takes for us to finish. But we expect that when the book is nearing completion, which will be summer 2024, May or June in all likelihood, we will select a launch date that works for everybody. You know, we can't necessarily, you know, prevent the launch because somebody's going to be at the cottage on that weekend or something like that, but we'll do our very best to make sure that it lines up with all of the authors and their schedules. You'll receive instructions ahead of time, as well as swipe files to assist in promoting the book and your contribution. And these swipe files and instructions include information on social media posts, graphics, and suggestions for ways to leverage the product for yourself. So the book is going to be positioned in such a way as to increase the likelihood of high ranking on Amazon's charts. No guarantees, of course, for that, but we will do our very best to push it as high up Amazon's charts as possible. So the regular price for this project is $997. And at that price, it would still be a phenomenal value compared to other programs that are $2,000, $4,000, even upwards of $10,000 or more for you to become a published author. This program is available for you right now at $697. That's Canadian dollars plus tax, but only until February 9th, 2024. You can get all the information at valuesinspired.com/become an author with the underscore between become and author, as you can see on the screen there. 8 spots are already taken out of 15, so that means that there are only 7 spots left. Please don't get left behind. It would really be disappointing to me and to you to find out that you wanted to do this project and you waited too long and there were either no more spots or we moved ahead with the project without you. So please don't be disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed. If you want to be part of this project, then take action with it right now. What are you waiting for? You are about to become an author. You, in just a few short months, could have this credential of being a published author and to have this new incredible asset of this lead magnet that you'll be able to use for yourself in building your business and creating the kind of success that you want to create. If you have any questions, please do get in touch with me. You can get all the information at valuesinspired.com/become_and_author, as you can see on the screen. And I would be happy to help you, to guide you, to support you in your goal of becoming an author. Thanks very much, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.